Are we witnessing a silent revival of Christianity? Because something unusual is happening. In places like the United Kingdom and across Western Europe, the data tells one story: declining church attendance, fewer people identifying as Christian, mainstream denominations shrinking year after year. And yet, underneath the decline, something else seems to be stirring. We're seeing growth in small, informal house churches. We're seeing young adults rediscover traditional liturgy, ancient prayers, reverence, structure. We're seeing a massive rise in online Christian content, podcasts, YouTube channels, Bible apps. And interestingly, more young men are turning up in evangelical and charismatic churches. So if this is a revival, why is it silent? Maybe it's silent because it's not happening through institutions. It's not being led by big denominations or state churches. It's happening in living rooms, on phones, in small communities. But here's the harder question. Are mainstream churches losing influence because they've moved too far from biblical scripture? Have some tried so hard to align with cultural trends that they've lost clarity? Many believers feel that tension, especially in professional workplaces. Christians often feel cautious, careful about how openly they express their faith. Not necessarily persecuted, but aware that biblical convictions can clash with modern corporate culture. And yet, some of the loudest Christian voices right now are professional fighters, musicians, athletes, celebrities. But they aren't necessarily representative of everyday believers quietly living out their faith. So what does Scripture say? In the Gospel of Matthew 5:16, Jesus says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." And in the second epistle to Timothy 1:7, Paul writes, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love." And in the second epistle to Timothy 1:7, Paul writes, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-discipline." That doesn't sound like silence. That sounds like conviction with courage. Not aggression, but faith that isn't hidden. Maybe this revival, if that's what it is, isn't loud yet. Maybe it's refining believers first, and maybe the question isn't whether revival is happening. Maybe the question is, will we be bold enough to stand when it does?